Well, we've had a lot of questions around the box about how to take care of your hands. Had some people ripping. So what I want to do today is just make a quick little instructional video on how I like to take care of my hands. And I'd like to say that I let my hands go this bad for instructional purposes, but truth be told, it's a bit of laziness. Got some pretty nasty looking calluses. You can see thick calluses. Fortunately, I haven't done any high rep pull-up wads, otherwise I'm sure that I would have ripped. So what I'm going to do is show you the technique that I like to use to make sure my hands are nice and smooth and prevent rips. Even though these are pretty nasty looking, I haven't ripped in probably a couple years. Probably just jinxed myself. But anyways, I'm going to show you the techniques that I use to take care of these calluses and prevent rips. First things first, I've gathered my materials. Surgical prep razor, this is my tool of choice for getting rid of calluses. Emery board, you can just use sandpaper, that works just as well. A nail, you could use a paper clip or whatever. Basically I'm going to use that to clean out my surgical prep razor. And then I have some hand cream. This is some stuff that I picked up from a store called Lush. It's called Handy Garugu. Very nice, great smell, nice consistency. I like it a lot. For significantly less money, you could go to Walgreens, Walmart, Rite Aid, pretty much any store with a pharmacy, and pick up some Cornhuskers lotion. Very cheap, very effective. Consistency's a little suspect. I don't know. The smell, definitely not as nice as the Handy Garugu. But it works well, and it, has the name Cornhuskers lotions because it's been used by people who have used their hands for hard work for quite some time. So these are the tools that I'm going to use to take care of my hands. Okay, so once I've gathered everything that I'm going to use, the next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to prep my calluses by heating them up with some hot water and getting them nice and soft. That will allow the surgical prep razor to cut right through these calluses like a hot knife through butter. Splish splash, I was taking a bath, and on about a Saturday night, I rubbed up just a bit in the tub, thinking everything was alright. Alright, calluses are nice and warmed up. It's time to do some shaving. Okay, so I'm now ready to start shaving some calluses. Hands nice and warm. You can tell by how red it is. A little bit of erythema, redness. So I'm just going to take my surgical prep razor. I'm going to start on this one right here, this bad boy right on my ring finger. So got to kind of angle it. Notice there's a nice little guard on here to prevent you from going too deep. It's going to get right up against that callus and give it a nice little pull. Good. And thick part of the callus comes off. I don't know if you can see, if you can appreciate how thick that is. But I'm going to go at this from multiple angles to get it smoothed out. You don't have to apply a lot of pressure. The skin just comes right off, especially when it's softened and warmed. And what I'm doing is just trying to make sure that there's no significant transition between my palm and where that callus was. So I'm just going to keep going after it here from different angles until I'm satisfied with how smooth it is. Okay, and I'm just going to repeat that procedure for every callus I have. I'm also going to look for any other hot spots. So pull-ups, I'm typically ripping way up here, or developing calluses way up here. High rep snatches and things like that, I tend to develop calluses here. So I'm going to make sure that those areas are smoothed out also. They tend to not be quite as thick as the calluses right up by the fingers, but you can definitely rip there, so you want to make sure that you're maintaining that area. After I've shaved, I'll get a bit of skin caught up in the callus shaver, so I just use my nail to clean that out, and then I'm ready to go for my other calluses. Grab the emery board or a piece of sandpaper, and I'm going to further smooth out the edges. Again, you want to make sure that there's no significant transition there to get caught and cause a rip. Okay, So I'm going to smooth that out, maybe use both sides. Nice and smooth. A little touch of the handy Guru Goo. And I'm just going to moisturize the callus. Simple as that. Rub all the lotion in. In between shavings, I recommend that you continuously use some sort of moisturizer to keep the hands soft. That's going to help prevent rips also. It's as simple as that, really. You just want to keep those calluses down. Anything sticking up, protruding off the palm is going to get caught, and that's going to rip off during those high rep wads. So that's it. Do that regularly, and you should be good to go. Hey, me again. Still working here. These are some pretty gnarly calluses. I failed to mention where you could get these surgical prep razors. Not likely available at your local drugstore. However, they are available at Kitsap CrossFit. $1 gets you a surgical prep razor. Take good care of it, and this thing will last you a while. You could get quite a few uses out of it. So $1 surgical prep razor at the KCF box.